From the unspeakable horror of being kidnapped to a resilient lady of inspiration, 𝐉𝐼 Poland's journey is one of bravery and perseverance.
Is there anything about the car that's the same as the one that 𝐉𝐼 got into?
The black thing?
What about the black thing?
I don't know. It's ugly and he took her pants off in front of everyone.
I know, but focus on the car, Brenda. Could this be the car that took 𝐉𝐼?
It is the car that took 𝐉𝐼.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Brenda, it's really important that you're sure. Is it the same car that took 𝐉𝐼?
Yes, I'm sure.
At a young age of 3, she faced the terror of being abducted, abused, and left to die in an abandoned outhouse for almost 4 days. Can you imagine the fear she must have felt alone in the darkness, with no one to hear her cries for help? However, what's even more spine-chilling is the fact that she survived. Against all odds, 𝐉𝐼's resilience defied the darkest of nightmares and inspired us all to believe in the power of the human spirit. You will be both amazed and horrified by the unbelievable story of 𝐉𝐼 Poland. Now, let us take you back to that day in 1983. 𝐉𝐼 and her brother were playing in the front yard, enjoying an extra popsicle their dad gave them, when a car pulled up. The passenger door was open, and the man inside asked 𝐉𝐼 if she liked candy.
I was 3. My brother and I were playing in our front yard, and a car drove around our corner, and the passenger door was open as he drove up, and pulled up and saw me and asked if I liked candy. I eagerly said yes, and he told me that if I went with him that he would give me candy, and so I got into the car and...
Well, what 3-year-old doesn't like candy? So she hopped into the car, excited about the prospect of getting some delicious treats. But unfortunately, things took a dark turn. The man took 𝐉𝐼 to the mountains, where he found an abandoned outhouse.
About 20 minutes west of Denver, to an abandoned outhouse, and proceeded to severely abuse me.
That had been left alone for several years. There he proceeded to do unspeakable things to her, and left her 12 feet below ground in the pit of the outhouse toilet. He left her there to die, with no one around to hear her cries for help. For 3.5 days, she was stuck in the bottom of a toilet, begging and crying for her mother to come.
Dropped me 15 feet below ground into the pit of an outhouse toilet and left me there for dead, and I was there for 3.5 days before I was rescued.
She was worried that she was going to let her mum down after just getting potty trained a few weeks before. And if that wasn't bad enough, bird watchers passing by nearly missed her. They drove past the outhouse, but the wife needed to go to the bathroom, so they turned around. While using the facilities, they heard a cry and eventually found the little girl, who told them that she lived there. It was a miracle that they found her. Her parents used the media to seek help for their missing daughter.
I just want who has her to bring her back and not hurt her, please.
It was a story that shook the nation. This was before social media, before Amber Alerts, and before the world had fully comprehended the gravity of child abuse and neglect. On August 27, 1983, the world watched with bated breath as the Polands, a family from suburban Sheridan, Colorado, were finally reunited with their 3-year-old daughter 𝐉𝐼 after a harrowing 3-day kidnapping ordeal. The country was on edge as news of the kidnapping spread like wildfire. Everyone was anxiously awaiting any news of 𝐉𝐼's whereabouts. It was a national emergency, and everyone was doing their part to help find the missing toddler. 𝐉𝐼's family's struggle was televised for the whole country to see, as her parents tearfully begged for any information on her whereabouts. And let us tell you, everyone was glued to their screens, holding their breath and hoping for a miracle.
You should have called the police to make sure that was true before you should have put that on the air.
Most people think they'll find a dead body.
Even Dr. Richard Krugman, the chairman of the National Foundation to End Child Abuse and Neglect, who later became involved in the case, described it as transfixing. And that's because in situations like this, most people fear the worst, that they'll find a dead body, or that the child will never be found again. The suspense was palpable, and the whole country was hoping and praying for 𝐉𝐼's safe return. The entire community rallied around the family, joining in the search effort and offering their support in any way they could. The search team included police officers, firefighters, volunteers, and even trained dogs. Despite their efforts, Laurie was nowhere to be found. As the days passed, hope began to fade. It seemed increasingly likely that Laurie had been abducted and that her fate would never be known. But then, on Thursday, August 25, a miracle occurred. A couple from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who were birdwatching in the foothills west of Denver, heard Laurie's cries coming from a nearby outhouse. The couple, Cynthia and Stephen Gorlin, shone their flashlight down the hole and were shocked to see the missing toddler staring back up at them. They immediately called for help and a team of rescuers was dispatched to the scene. Using a makeshift rope ladder, they were able to extract Laurie from the pit and bring her to safety. The news of Laurie's safe return quickly spread and the entire nation was overjoyed. Finally, after 3 long days, the Polands were overjoyed to have their little girl back in their arms. The emotional reunion was captured on camera and broadcast to the entire country. There wasn't a dry eye in the house as the family hugged and kissed Laurie, who had been missing since Monday afternoon. But it wasn't just the Polands who were overjoyed at Laurie's safe return. The entire community and indeed the country breathed a collective sigh of relief upon hearing the news that the little girl had been found alive and well. It was a moment of pure joy and relief, and people from all over the country sent their well wishes and support to the family. The Polands were grateful for the outpouring of love and support they had received from their community and beyond. Gifts poured in for Laurie, including nearly 24 stuffed animals and a trip to Disneyland, which was generously donated by Frontier Airlines and First Financial Securities Corp. The family was overwhelmed by the generosity and kindness of strangers, and it helped them to cope with the trauma of the past few days. Laurie's father, Richard Poland, couldn't contain his happiness as he reported that Laurie was already smiling and laughing, and had even sung a few songs with the family. She remembers the words to Jingle Bells, her favorite song, he said, beaming with pride. It was a small victory, but it was a victory nonetheless. But it wasn't just her singing that had her parents hopeful for a quick recovery. Doctors at St. Anthony's Central Hospital, where Laurie was recuperating, had upgraded her condition from fair to good on Friday, saying that circulation problems in her feet were much improved. She would be able to leave the hospital sooner than expected. The medical team's announcement was a ray of hope that shone brightly through the dark clouds that had gathered over the family. After enduring the trauma of their daughter's disappearance, the Polands had been on tenterhooks as they waited for news about Laurie's condition. It was no wonder then that they were overjoyed when the doctors informed them that Laurie was doing better than expected. For Diane and Richard, it was a sign that their little girl was a fighter who would overcome any obstacle in her path. It was a relief to the family to hear that Laurie was making progress and that her ordeal hadn't caused any long-term damage to her health. They were grateful for the care and attention Laurie received from the doctors and nurses at the hospital. The toddler had spent at least one night at the bottom of a mountain outhouse, where she was discovered by a visiting couple from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who were birdwatching in the foothills west of Denver. The couple's discovery of Laurie was a stroke of luck that defied all odds. In a vast wilderness that spanned miles and miles, it was miraculous that they had found her in the secluded outhouse pit. The story of their heroic rescue would be told for years to come, a testament to the power of determination and perseverance. Cynthia Gorlin recalled hearing weird crying and then hearing Laurie say, "Mummy, I want some Kool-Aid." Her husband, Stephen Gorlin, shone his flashlight down the hole and asked Laurie what she was doing there. "I live here," was her reply. Cynthia and Stephen's encounter with Laurie was one they would never forget. It was a moment that had changed their lives forever and given them a newfound appreciation for the fragility of life. It also taught them the importance of listening to their intuition and taking action when something felt wrong. It was a miracle that Laurie was found at all. The members of the rescue team reported that whoever had put Laurie in the hole didn't intend for her to get out. There was no way for her to climb out, and Laurie had no idea how long she had been trapped in the pit. She told doctors that she had seen both day and night while looking up from the 12-foot deep outhouse pit. It was a terrifying thought, but it was a testament to Laurie's strength and resilience that she had managed to survive for so long in such a scary and dangerous situation. The circumstances of Laurie's kidnapping were chilling and heart-wrenching. It was a stark reminder of the dangers that lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike at any moment. But it was also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, to the power of hope and faith in the face of adversity. Despite her ordeal, 𝐉𝐼 had not been sexually molested, according to a hospital spokesman. However, her feet were swollen from standing in the liquid that was at the bottom of the pit. Diane Poland, 𝐉𝐼's mother, said that 𝐉𝐼 had a nightmare in the hospital and screamed, "Get me out of here, get me out of here," but she was otherwise subdued and confused. Diane's recollection of 𝐉𝐼's nightmare was a poignant reminder of the lasting impact that trauma could have on a person's psyche. It was a reminder that healing took time and that scars were not always visible to the naked eye. It was a testament to the strength of 𝐉𝐼's character, to her resilience and determination in the face of overwhelming adversity. The fact that 𝐉𝐼 had not been sexually molested was a relief to her family and the wider community. It was a sign that even in the midst of darkness, a glimmer of light shone through. It was a symbol of hope, that the world was not all bad and that there were still people who could be trusted and relied upon. But 𝐉𝐼's story didn't end there. She identified the man who had sexually abused her and put her in the pit, despite being just 3 years old at the time. According to Dr. Krugman, she was a rock-solid witness in court who treated her as a pediatrician at the Kemp Center. The attacker was sentenced to just 10 years in prison, serving only 6, and is now a registered sex offender living in California.
While I was gone, they had found my kidnapper and arrested him, and they searched his home. He denied all of it.
𝐉𝐼 wanted to forgive him when she was young, but she has no desire to ever see him again. In the aftermath of the kidnapping, the Polands became advocates for missing children, appearing on television and in print to raise awareness of the issue. They also established the 𝐉𝐼 Poland Fund, which provides support and resources to families of missing children. Despite the trauma she has endured, 𝐉𝐼 has not let it define her. Now a mother of 3 and a therapist, she has launched the National Foundation to End Child Abuse and Neglect with Dr. Krug. Together they want to treat child abuse not just as a social issue but also as a mental health and public health problem, similar to suicide, diabetes, health disease and breast cancer. 𝐉𝐼's foundation is taking pledges to end child abuse and trying to get 10,000 signatures. She has battled with fear of abandonment, anxiety and depression, but has never backed away from a fight. "I only know how to survive, and I will continue to survive," she said. "And I will fight for all children who have been abused and adults who have felt like they have to keep silent. This brave survivor is an inspiration to us all. Let's join her in her fight to end child abuse and neglect." Now, 𝐉𝐼 is a bit of a mysterious woman when it comes to her personal life. She is indeed a married woman, but she hasn't shared any details about her husband or their marriage. However, during an interview, 𝐉𝐼 did reveal that her husband's name is Jackson. Oh, Jackson, what a strong and powerful name. It's no wonder 𝐉𝐼 changed her last name to Jackson after getting hitched. But don't get too excited just yet. 𝐉𝐼 hasn't shared any pictures of her and her hunky husband on social media, so unfortunately, we don't have any visual aids to show you. But fear not, my friend, because 𝐉𝐼 is the mother of 3 beautiful children. She has 2 daughters and a son, although their names and identities are unknown in the media. But 𝐉𝐼 does love sharing pictures of her and her children on social media, so you can still get a glimpse into her family life. Now let's talk about 𝐉𝐼's net worth and career. According to my sources, 𝐉𝐼 has an approximate net worth of $500,000. That's a pretty impressive sum if you ask me. She's earned this fortune from her professional career as an author, entrepreneur, and therapist. Talk about a triple threat. 𝐉𝐼 started her career shortly after completing her education. She joined the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless in 2007 and worked there for over 4 years as a manager at Denver Counseling and a program manager. In 2008, she joined the Kemp Center and worked in an infant mental health and under 6s program for 2 years. After that, she worked as a family preservation therapist at the Griffith Centers for Children. But that's not all. 𝐉𝐼 is presently working for Denver Counseling Options as a mental health therapist. She's been with the company for over 12 years and has obtained various licenses and certifications during her career. She specialized in sand tray therapy, attachment and relationship bonding, adolescent therapy, marriage and family therapy, child and adolescent certificates, and much more. 𝐉𝐼 Poland went through a traumatic experience that no one should have to endure. But you know what? She didn't let that experience defeat her. With the help of some amazing people like Dr. Krugman and David, 𝐉𝐼 was able to turn her pain into a purpose. But 𝐉𝐼's journey didn't stop there. She knew that her story wasn't unique and that countless others had suffered just like she had. That's why she and Dr. Krugman decided to create the National Foundation to End Child Abuse and Neglect. Now they're working hard to bring awareness and resources to anyone who has been impacted by abuse or neglect. And let me tell you, they are making a real difference. Currently, Laurie Poland is the Executive Director of the National Foundation to End Child Abuse and Neglect. You know what? She is doing an amazing job. And we thank her for her hard work and dedication to this important cause. Laurie is a force to be reckoned with. She is passionate, hardworking, and dedicated to her cause of ending child abuse and neglect. Her tireless efforts have inspired many and brought about real change in the world. Keep up the great work, Laurie. You're making a difference in the world, and we are so proud to have you as a leader. Laurie's story is a true testament to the power of resilience and strength. Despite the trauma she experienced at a young age, she refused to let it define her. Instead, she became a pillar of hope and support for those who have gone through similar hardships. She dedicated her life to being an advocate for victims' rights and a source of comfort for those in need. Her spirit of perseverance and determination is truly inspiring, and we can all learn from her example. It's been decades since the breaking news of the heinous crime that shook the community. It's heartbreaking to imagine the pain and suffering that Laurie and her family endured. The little girl was snatched from her porch, violated, and left to die in the pit. The thought of it is too much to bear, and it's understandable why the community was reeling with anger and sadness. The emotional toll of this case cannot be overstated. It's a stark reminder of the importance of protecting our children and holding those who harm them accountable for their actions. It's our responsibility to ensure that the most vulnerable among us are safe from harm. As we reflect on this case, let's take a moment to honor Laurie's memory and the strength she embodied. Let's commit to using our own experiences to positively impact the world. May justice be served for Laurie Poland and all the innocent victims of child abuse. Despite the tragic experience of being kidnapped, you would think that such a traumatic event would define Laurie's life forever. However, Laurie chose not to let it define her. Instead, she decided to use it as a source of strength and motivation to help others who had gone through trauma or hardships. She was determined to make a positive impact and dedicated her life to advocating for victims' rights and providing support to those in need. Laurie's resilience and strength were truly remarkable, and her commitment to serving others was unwavering. She worked tirelessly to help those who had suffered, often going above and beyond what was expected of her. Her compassion and empathy were evident in everything she did, and her ability to inspire and uplift those around her was truly awe-inspiring. Through her work, Laurie was able to make a significant difference in the lives of countless individuals. She touched the hearts of many and left a lasting legacy of kindness and generosity. Laurie's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the importance of helping others in their time of need. Her memory will continue to inspire and encourage people for generations to come. Laurie's story is not just inspiring, but it's also a testament to the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Her unwavering commitment to her goals and determination to overcome challenges are powerful lessons for us all. It shows that no matter what we face in life, we can always persevere if we stay focused and motivated. Laurie's story is particularly significant because it reminds us that we never struggle alone. It's okay to ask for help and to rely on the support of others. Laurie's experience has shown us that we can emerge from even the darkest moments with a newfound sense of purpose and hope. Her story is not just a tale of tragedy, but one of hope and triumph over adversity. Her journey is like a superhero origin story, showing us that we all have the power to overcome the toughest of obstacles and achieve our goals if we remain resilient and committed. Laurie's story is a shining example of how we can turn our pain into power.
Do you feel like justice was served?
For me, it's not really about justice. It's more about being impactful. And every day I wake up and I just try and be impactful and try and be good in the world and prevent people from growing up and causing harm.
Instead of letting our tough experiences define us, we can transform them into a positive force for change. We can channel our inner superheroes and use our experiences to positively impact the world, finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment that helps us heal and grow. Laurie's resilience is nothing short of remarkable. She faced unimaginable trauma but never gave up. She fought back and used her experiences to inspire and motivate others. Her story serves as a reminder that no matter how dark things may seem, there is always hope, and we are never truly alone. And that, my friends, is the power of a truly inspiring story. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching.